The times I've interviewed Ryan Reynolds, he's always been super nice, very friendly. Now we learn new things about him and we're all sitting there like, oh my God, we were all fooled. And the last couple of days, I've done a little bit of digging. One of you guys actually sent me this video with Alanis Morissette.
I can fake empathy pretty well, you know? I could pretend.
Ryan Reynolds is spiraling after Fox News ripped him to shreds. He's so wrapped up in his own ego trip that he can't even see how much of Hollywood has turned against him in the fallout of the Blake Lively scandal.
Lively, her brand, Ryan Reynolds' brand, have totally been tarnished by this because the world now sees them for who they are.
Naturally, that didn't stop Reynolds from digging the hole even deeper, doubling down and showing the world just how much of a self-obsessed narcissist he really is.
So gross and weird and manipulative, even if it's true. It's so just...
Ryan Reynolds, once Hollywood's golden boy and self-proclaimed king of comedy, is now collapsing faster than a knockoff dollar store chair. And honestly, the writing's been on the wall. Fox News, of all places, obliterated him for being a raging control freak on the set of Deadpool 2, and now Hollywood's finally catching on. Behind the jokes, he's nothing more than an insecure, power-drunk man-child throwing fits over makeup powder and foundation.
Ryan Reynolds, by all accounts, seems like a great guy. He is acting. By all accounts, he is a total pain in the...
And it's not just Fox News. Torching him. Former co-stars, directors, journalists, and yes, even his ex-wives have all lined up like bargain hunters on Black Friday to unload receipts. But let's rewind. How did Ryan Reynolds go from the lovable Deadpool to Hollywood's most insecure, power-tripping dictator?
Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is. He's just a psycho. His number is psycho.
It all started when Fox News absolutely obliterated him. And let's be real, if Fox News is dragging you, you've really screwed up. They went straight for the jugular, exposing how Reynolds ruled the Deadpool 2 set like a full-blown tyrant. The trigger? His personal makeup artist had the audacity, the sheer nerve, not to be available for a reshoot.
It revealed a source that says he had quite an experience demanding his makeup artist show up or get fired. I'll share that story for you.
Because obviously makeup artists are supposed to sit on call 24/7, waiting to be summoned like peasants to a medieval king. But no, Ryan, being the delusional narcissist he is, allegedly told them, if you don't come back, you'll never work in Hollywood again. Excuse me? Is he the CEO of Hollywood now? Did someone hand him the infinity gauntlet of showbiz careers?
Ryan Reynolds had to do some reshoots for the movie. His makeup artist was out of the country working. Ryan Reynolds threatened to fire the makeup artist off the rest of the film and the reshoots they had to do, and also said, if you don't come back and do my makeup for these reshoots, you will never work in Hollywood again.
The kicker. Fox executives were furious but powerless because Reynolds had already wormed his way into full control of the production. Imagine seasoned professionals forced to tiptoe around a grown man throwing tantrums over contouring powder. This is the same guy who parades as a chill, goofy, humble actor. Where was that energy when you blacklisted someone over a makeup brush, Ryan? Hollywood has coddled his ego for years, but the mask is slipping, and underneath isn't Deadpool's charm, it's pure disaster. And let's not forget, he even weaponized Deadpool just to take cheap shots at Justin Baldoni.
I knew who he was beforehand. Everyone knows who he is now. If he is a smart sociopath, he'll work that to his advantage.
And speaking of mask slipping, let's talk about Ryan Reynolds' completely manufactured persona. For years, he conned the world into believing he was Hollywood's wittiest, most charming golden boy. But now, reporters, journalists, and even former fans are admitting the obvious. They got played like a cheap violin.
Ryan used his nice pool character in Deadpool and Wolverine to mock Justin Baldoni.
The truth is out. This guy is a textbook manipulative narcissist who fakes empathy just to get what he wants. And when your ex-fiancé needs therapy 5 times a week just to recover from the wreckage you left behind? That's not just a bad breakup, Ryan. That's a flashing neon red flag.
Strangers describe me as
Extremely disloyal.
But here's the jaw-dropper. Reynolds literally admitted on camera, and I quote, "I can fake empathy pretty well." Excuse me? Did you just casually confess to being a psychological con artist? Did you just look into the camera and say, "Hey everyone, I have the emotional depth of a wooden plank, but I can fake it.
Fake empathy pretty well, you know?
And the worst part? He said it like it was some quirky little party trick. That's basically the equivalent of bragging, "Oh yeah, I can fake being a decent human being whenever I need to." Congratulations, Ryan. Do you want a medal for impersonating empathy?
People who are really good at putting out this incredibly sort of, if they want to be warm and empathic, they can be warm and empathic.
They can fake it.
They can fake.
And if you thought that was bad, buckle up. Because Reynolds' interviews reveal something even darker. His open hostility toward child actors and their parents. Yep, you heard that right. The man literally said, being around kid actors makes him one blink away from obscene violence. Totally normal thing to say in Hollywood, right?
So Alanis Morissette says that one of the things that narcissists don't have or missing is empathy.
And there I was 13 years later going, oh my God, the empathy was fake.
Violence. Over a 7-year-old who just wants to read their lines. Who even thinks like that? And he didn't stop there. He doubled down, calling the parents of child actors even worse. I mean, what exactly did a 6-year-old ever do to you? Ryan? This is the same guy who built his career on playing a sarcastic, lovable hero. Yet here he is, admitting he's ready to square up with toddlers. Hollywood, come collect your boy.
I'm like one blink away from obscene violence when I'm around them sometimes.
You know, how he kind of hates child actors, and he says that the parents of child actors are even worse. And then he said that I'm sure he was trying to be funny.
And the people who actually had to work with him, they're running for the exits. Rebecca Ferguson, one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood, literally refused to even look at Reynolds on set.
I can pretend that I like that kid, but honestly, showbiz kids are monsters. Crazy showbiz parents. I never had showbiz parents, so I don't know, but I've seen some really, really amazing ones. Yeah, wow.
In fact, she asked if she could act toward a tennis ball instead of his face. A tennis ball. Imagine being so unbearable that a seasoned actress would rather pour her heart out to sporting equipment than acknowledge your existence.
Film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable.
And then there's Jake Gyllenhaal. Once upon a time, they were Hollywood's golden bromance. Press tours, inside jokes, 2 peas in a pod. But now, Jake went full ghost mode. When asked about Reynolds in an interview, his entire energy shut down like someone just whispered Voldemort's.
I was so vulnerable and comfortable that I got screamed at. But because this person was number 1 on a call sheet, there was no safety net for me. So no one had my back.
I have nothing to say about him. That was it. No fake PR smile, no polite, we're still friends. Just ice-cold rejection. And let's be honest, Jake Gyllenhaal isn't the type to wade into petty Hollywood drama.
Words for Ryan, seeing as the next time we talk to him, he will be seeing that.
I have nothing to say to him.
This is the same man who stayed completely silent while Taylor Swift turned their breakup into a 10-minute global anthem. If Jake can survive, that with grace, but refuses to fake a friendly word about Ryan Reynolds, that tells you everything.
Pretty obvious that he's not joking about not being friends with Ryan Reynolds anymore.
And let's not forget Hugh Jackman, Mr. Wolverine himself. For years, he played along with the love-hate banter. But even Hugh, one of the nicest guys in the business, eventually hit unfollow. When Hugh Jackman is done with you, the writing is on the wall. So let's recap. Ryan Reynolds was exposed by Fox News as a tyrant, outed by journalists as a fraud, called a manipulative narcissist by Alanis Morissette, caught on camera admitting he fakes empathy, threatened a makeup artist's entire career, trashed child actors, got iced out by Rebecca Ferguson, ghosted by Jake Gyllenhaal, and unfollowed by Hugh Jackman. And yet, this man still wants us to believe he's Hollywood's most charming, funny guy.
You have an ongoing feud with Ryan.
Who?
You know that guy. What's it going to take for him to actually be BFFs with you?
Well, I mean, in truth, there was a time in which we were.
At some point, even sarcasm can't save you from your own mess. And Reynolds' mess is piling up like a dumpster fire on the Hollywood walk of fame. He isn't just a control freak, he's a dictator in disguise. People love to pretend he's this goofy, easygoing guy, but behind the mask, He bullied, manipulated, and clawed his way to the top like a desperate tyrant with a full-blown Napoleon complex.
On, and I said, you get off my set. This is the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared.
Yes.
And I looked at this person and I said, you can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you.
Take Tim Miller, for example, the director who literally brought Deadpool to life. Reynolds made sure he got kicked to why? The curb before the sequel, because he couldn't handle sharing control. Imagine firing the guy who created the thing that made you famous, just so you could micromanage every frame.
You see that Jake Gyllenhaal has also unfollowed Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. But apparently he didn't unfollow them until they had already unfollowed.
And then there's TJ Miller, aka Weasel, aka One Of. The actual reasons Deadpool was funny, he flat out said Ryan Reynolds treated him like trash on set. And not in a jokey, bantery way. Straight up hostility.
And then I think I don't know. I mean, would I work with him again? No.
No.
I would not work with him
that
again.
much vitriol.
Reynolds belittled him in front of the crew, making sure everyone knew who the real star was. TJ literally said, he was weirdly mean to me. Not as a joke, just genuinely. Rude. Imagine being so insecure that a professional comedian, a guy whose whole job is mocking people, thinks you crossed the line.
And Deadpool, where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me, but to me.
Cathartic.
As if I'm weak.
And the Hollywood rejection tour doesn't stop there. Gerard Butler, an actual action star, was asked about Ryan's movies. His response? I don't even know what that is. Translation. Reynolds is so irrelevant that even the guy who headlined Geostorm couldn't pick him out of a lineup. That's like getting dunked on by a direct-to-DVD action hero.
He was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
But let's get real. This isn't just about Reynolds' ego. His whole career is built on smoke and mirrors. You know those painfully staged Instagram jokes with Blake Lively? Yeah, that's not romance. It's branding. A carefully manufactured PR stunt designed to keep their image spotless. Reynolds has bounced from one relationship to another like he's running from his own reflection. And suddenly, boom, he's Mr. Perfect husband the second he lands with Blake. Totally authentic, right?